stop moving, go, go, go. Figure it out, figure it out.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be, I wanted to make it 10 or 15, but it seems that I could make it really long, so I'm not going to do that. It'll be between 10 and 15 hacks on how to keep a clean and tidy home. The things and strategies that I use daily to have a clean home, because people quite often comment on Instagram and on YouTube too about my home being clean and tidy, and you know, I'm doing a cleaning video and it already looks clean, but it's not. It may just look that way, but you know, there are things that I do to try and keep a clean home and keep it tidy. So when I'm cleaning, I am cleaning up, and you know, I've decided now that I'm going to do a before shot on my videos of cleaning so that you can see exactly what it is that I'm cleaning, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be fingerprints, food spillages, not from me, dog paw prints everywhere, water. You know, I do have a cleaning plan in my mind and I follow it religiously. I have a daily clean, a weekly clean and a monthly clean, and I tend to stick to it like glue. Not because I've got OCD or anything like that, because I'm house proud and I like to have a nice clean home. And you know, if someone knocks on my door, I can welcome them in. Yeah, the dogs will bark and go ballistic, but I like to think that the place is tidy, and if you ever have any unexpected guests, you can always welcome them in. So you know, that's not the only reason that I have a clean home, or is it? Anyway, let's get straight into it. I'll tell you the things that I do to keep a clean and tidy home. The first and the most important thing is, when you get up in the morning, don't sit down. If you sit down in your jammies with a cup of tea, that's it. The chances are you'll not move, because you become too relaxed and you want to watch This Morning or whatever it is on the telly. I don't watch any telly at all, so I've no idea what it is, but I do know that This Morning's on. You know, if you sit down and relax, you won't want to get up and go. So I find when I get up in the morning, I don't sit down, I make a cup of tea and I'm straight into whatever it is that I do, which is usually empty the dishwasher and do my chores of whatever it is on that day. You know, I work shifts in work, so it's quite hard to have a routine as such, but you know, whenever I can't do it on that day, it will always, you know, be done the next day or the day before. I tend to work it around my working rota, to be honest. So the first thing is that is most important is don't sit down. So tip number 2 is leave your bed open to air. I hate it when I see people get up in the morning and they make the bed straight away. It's like, leave it open, let a bit of air come into the bed. You know, we've been sleeping in it all night, and it's something that I always say, like, you know, I change my bedding weekly, but in hot weather like this, I change it a lot more regular, because, you know, we're hot through the night, and no matter how much you leave the duvet open, I think you can't be fresh bedding. I'd have fresh bedding on every night if I could, but I can't, because that's just too much work for myself. But in the hot weather, yeah, I love it. So, you know, leave your bed open to air. I tend to get up, get washed, get dressed, and then I go downstairs and I work my way up rather than starting upstairs and working my way down, because otherwise I'd have to make the beds. So it's quite tricky with Lee, because my son works shifts as well, so it's quite tricky with making the beds and stuff like that. So I tend to just go with the flow with Lee's room, because it's his room, and at the end of the day he's a man and he probably wants to keep his bedroom private, and he's got me badgering on about keeping it clean and tidy and making his bed and everything else, and he's probably like, Mum, just give me a break, it's my bedroom. So you know, I tend to be a lot more laid back where Lee's concerned with his bedroom. Tip number 3, keep everything in its home. And if it hasn't got a home, find a home for it. Because once the things are placed in their home and you know where they go, you'll always put them away. And you'll tend to use it and put it straight back. That's the great thing about things having a home. Tip number 4, don't own 4 and 5 and 6 of everything. You only need 1. You don't need an emergency one in case it breaks, because you can just go out and buy one if it breaks. And nothing is that important that you need 2, apart from a Hoover. And the only reason that I say that is because I have a Dyson upstairs and Hetty downstairs. That's the only thing that you need 2 of. I don't even have 2 batteries for my camera, because if my battery breaks, I'll go and buy a new one. You know, don't have 2 of everything, because the minute that you have 2 of everything, or you know, 6 of something or 7 of something, that is like ideal for hoarding. And with hoarding comes a whole load of clutter, you just don't need it. You just need one of things. So, you know, don't have 6 and 7 or 2 of things. You don't need them. Tip number 5 is your dishwasher. Empty and fill your dishwasher. So I tend to empty my dishwasher of a morning and then fill it as the day goes on, rinse the plates off, dump them in the dishwasher and put it on before bed. So when I get up in the morning, I can empty it and it's ready for the day. Number 6, vacuum daily. I do say, you know, we'd all love it in an ideal world to be able to vacuum every day, morning and night, or however often you want to. In an ideal world, that'd be great. And sometimes you're not able to do it. You know, we've got life commitments, work commitments, kids, you name it, jobs, everything else. So sometimes it's not possible to hoover daily, but if you can't hoover daily, definitely hoover the next day, because it just keeps dust at bay, I think. Tip number 7, clean as you go. Don't spill something and walk away from it, or see something on the floor and walk away from it. Pick it up or wipe it up and just clean as you go. You know, it's one of the most important things to do, to keep a house clean and tidy. Clean as we go. It tends to keep everything clean and tidy, putting things back in the home, like we said, and just cleaning. So basically you'd never even know that you've been there. It's clean and tidy. Number 8, wipe any spillages and don't walk away from them. And by that I mean, if you spill something, don't walk away, because you'll probably forget. Prime example of this, Lee was walking up the stairs the other day with a cup of tea and he said, "Oh, I've just spilled the tea." I said, "Yeah, as long as you clean it up, babe." 5 hours later, 6 hours later, I'm going up the stairs and what did I say on the white woodwork? Tea stains. I was like, and he went, "I forgot about that." He went, "I did clean it up." He said, "But I forgot about that bit on there." I said, "Did you walk away from it?" He went, "Yeah." I went, "That's why. The minute you walk away, you forget." Now, please don't think that I am OCD and crazy about having a clean house, because I think if I was, you just know that, you know, 3 animals wouldn't be basically my extended family and be my children. I don't have OCD and I don't have a spotlessly clean home. It's just important to wipe spillages as you go anyway, because if you walk away, you forget. So, wipe them spillages up and you'll thank yourself for it later. Tip number 9. When you're putting your bedding on your bed, or you've taken it off and you've ironed it and you're putting it away, rather than, because I have the same bedding on my bed, believe it or not, I have 3 sets of the same bedding, and it's just pin tuck bedding. I have a set from eBay, a set from Argos and a set from Sainsbury's, and it's just white pin tuck bedding, but each pin tuck is different. I know the difference, you probably wouldn't know the difference, but the pin tucks are different. The pin tuck on the Sainsbury's one is quite small. The pin tuck on the Argos one is quite a wide pin tuck, and the pin tuck on the eBay one is a wide pin tuck, but it's a different cotton. The cotton from Argos is Egyptian cotton and the cotton from eBay is just cotton. So I know the difference between those 3 bedding sets, and the only way that I can determine the difference is to wrap each duvet set. I don't put it inside the way you'll see some people do it. Wrap the duvet set in the pillow slips that go with it. So I have 2 pillowcases with that duvet set, and then I have 2 white standard pillowcases, and I will always wrap the duvet set and the standard pillowcase in a pillowcase. So when I pull it out, that's the bedding that goes on. It's the complete set, sheet included. So I'm not looking going, that's the different pillowcase or anything like that. And you know, it works with whatever bedding I do, the same with Lee's bedding too. It's just an easy way of pulling it out and knowing that everything is there. You don't need to scan around and check that you've got odd pillowcases or anything. It's just an easy way of doing it. And not only that, it doesn't take up as much space in the drawer, the bedding. Tip number 10, do 1 wash of laundry a day. Or 3 if you live in my house. I don't know where the washing comes in this house, but the amount of washing that I do at least 3 washes a day. Don't know where it comes from. So do 1 wash a day at least, and just as soon as the washing's done and it's been in the tumble dryer or on the line or on the maiden, put it away. Don't leave it out, just put it away and get it done. You don't even need to iron it. Hang it up and have a designated ironing day. Tip number 11, donate to charity or go the tip. Because otherwise you just end up with all kinds of stuff that you don't need. And listen, I'm quite minimal and I can still find 6 bin bags of stuff to go the skip all the time. I'll go in the loft and I'll go, that can go, that can go, that can go. Why did we save the box off that? Because we've had that for 17 years and we've never needed the box. Things like that. Send it all a tip. But I've just decided that, you know, is just going to go to the charity shop. So we have been regularly taking stuff to our local charity shop, and they're dead grateful for it. So that is one way of keeping clutter down. Tip number 12, keep all your paperwork organised. Any bills come through, we tend to have a thing, me and Bigley, where if bills come in, we'll open them straight away. 9 times out of 10, everything's paid online anyway, but if a bill comes in, you know, whatever it may be, pay it, write the date on it that you've paid, tick that you've paid it, and just put it where you usually put your things. We have a plastic wallet. Well, we have about 10 plastic wallets, because one's got all the dog's details in, one's got all Lee's driving stuff in, one's got all my driving stuff in, like insurance and all that type of stuff, you know, home and content insurance, all that type of stuff is all in plastic wallets, and it's just easy. It's in one stored place where we can all put our hands on it if we need it, and any other stuff goes in the paper shredder and it's gone, and that's it. I have a sign on my front door saying, please don't give me any junk mail, because I don't want it. I don't want any pizza flyers, I don't want anything coming through my letterbox, and I've had that on my door for years and it works, it really does. So sort your bills out, keep them organised, and get rid of what you don't need. Otherwise you're just going to end up with a pile of paperwork on like a microwave or on a worktop, and you just don't want it. Tip number 13, if you're cooking, clean as you go. It makes it so much easier. Like, I'll walk into the kitchen, like now it's an absolutely roasting day today, so as much as I'd love to be downstairs cleaning up, I can't, because it's just too warm to clean up. And I mean, my house is quite cool, but it's still far too hot. I don't even know what the temperature is today, but it's still far too hot to be cleaning. But Lee done breakfast this morning in his lovely fashion, and it's 23. Now that may not seem like it's hot, but it's scorching, especially when you're in the house. So Lee cooked breakfast this morning and he didn't clean as he went, so you can imagine what the kitchen looked like. Oh. So when I cook, I clean as I go, so you know, I tend to just use the bits that I need, and what I don't need I'll wash it straight away, because I've got one of them brushes that you put washing liquid in, and clean as I go, wipe up any spillages as I go. And by the time you're sitting down to eat, it doesn't even look like you've cooked in the kitchen, because you've cleaned as you've gone. Tip number 14 is be organised and have a routine. If you've got a routine, you can't go wrong. And I think the most important thing when you do have a routine is everything tends to get done. Nothing will be left, because if you didn't do it, your routine the next day, or if you do it every other day or whatever, your routine will go out of sync. And some people don't like to have a routine because they feel like they're under pressure by it, and it's not about that. It's just about having things that are done on set days, or you know, whatever it may be. Days that you strip the beds, you know, days that you're gonna hoover and mop right through, and you know, do the skirtings and the picture rails. Just have a routine. When you have a routine, you're more organised. Number 15 is to do a 5-minute speed clean before bed, and you can't go wrong. Before I go to bed, I will make sure the dishwasher's switched on, make sure all the electrics are off in the kitchen, make sure there's no dishes in the sink, and wipe across the worktops, blow any tea light candles that are on, fluff the cushions up, you know, close the blinds, take out any cups, whatever. It takes 5 minutes to do it. Just a quick speed clean, and then when you come down in the morning, everywhere's tidy. You know, there's no cushions upside down or anything like that, because you'd be amazed what shape my cushions ends up in when everybody's been on the couch. But having that little 5-minute speed clean before bed means that when you get up in the morning, the sink's empty, you know, everywhere's nice and tidy, and you can go down and know that you haven't got to worry about it because it's nice and clean. That brings me to an end of the 15 tips anyway. There's just a few things that I want you to bear in mind, and these are things that stick in my mind and I'll always remember. And that is that the bed is for sleeping in, not for storing things on. So don't store things on your bed. Don't go upstairs with your laundry, leave it all on the bed and then go back downstairs to tackle something else, because then you'll come up to bed because you'll have forgotten about the laundry and be like, oh, I've got to put that mountain of washing away now. So don't use your bed as storage, because you want to just be able to get in it and go to sleep. Second thing is, don't put things up the stairs that need to go up. Like, I just can't bear all the things leading up the stairs. Like, imagine if you trip down then, or like open your front door and you're like, yeah love, yeah, and they're looking in and they're like, oh my god, that's just like a trail of oh, I don't know. Please don't store things up the stairs. If you've got things to go upstairs, take them up. Like, we come in from Sainsbury's doing the shopping, and I'll have bought, let's just say for argument's sake, toilet cleaner or toothpaste. We'll put them through the banister and drop it on the stairs. So they're just taking it upstairs. Like, don't put things on the stairs anyway, because, you know, that's just not the done thing in this house. The other thing is winter coats. Winter coats are the bane of my life. I hate winter coats because Lee's got like 5 winter coats. I've got 2 winter coats because like I only need 2. One's for walking the dogs and one's a winter coat. Store them away. Stick them in a vacuum bag and put them in the loft in the summer where you don't need them. So that brings me to an end of my 15 tips and tricks to keeping a clean and tidy home. They are tips and tricks that I use daily, you know, keeping everything in its home and you know, everything else. The things that I do daily to try and keep a clean and tidy home. I don't stick by them religiously because obviously I work full time too, so it's hard, but when I can't do it one day, I will most certainly be doing it the next day. So I hope that you found them useful, and if you've got any tips or ideas on how to keep a home clean and tidy, please leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to read them and learn what your tips are. You know, I love learning new things as well, so leave them down below for me anyway. I hope you've all had a lovely day. Thanks for tuning in. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. See you later.
Figure it out, but don't stop moving. Go, go, go. Figure it out, figure it out.